We are now focusing on the third type of timetables produced by Dream Timetables app, which is the Composite class timetable. Whereas the individual class timetable focuses on the lessons that take place within that particular class, such as grade 8A, the Composite class timetable presents all lessons that take place in all classes across the school. Whereas the individual class timetable shows what happens within a single class in a week, the Composite class timetable shows what happens in all classes across the school in a week. The Composite class timetable is a bird's-eye view of the entire school at work, viewed from the class dimension. It is a big picture dashboard of entire school teaching operations viewed from the perspective of all student classes across the school. Dream Timetables app produces composite timetables for each day of the week, showing lessons that are provided to students in all classes. This slide, for instance, shows lessons that take place in all classes on day 1 of the school week. As we can see on this slide, all classes of grade 8 are displayed, from grade 8A to grade 8D. Similarly, all classes of grade 9, from grade 9A to grade 9D, are shown. The only visible classes for grade 10 are from grade 10A to grade 10E. The rest of the classes are on the other pages of this composite timetable. As shown in the footer, we are only looking at page 1 of 3 of this day 1 composite timetable. The information conveyed by this slide is that on day 1 of the school week, in grade 8A, the first 2 periods are technology lessons taught by teacher T002, followed by another double period of the life sciences subject taught by teacher T023, followed by a break in period 5, followed by another double period of home language subgroup where various home languages are taught by 6 different teachers, followed by a single period of social sciences taught by teacher T039, and day 1 in grade 8A is concluded by a double period of a natural sciences lesson taught by teacher T021. Lessons in the other classes on this day can similarly be interpreted that way. The composite class timetable is also not issued to students or teachers. It is for school management purposes. Composite timetables for each school day are usually printed and posted on the school notice board to provide a big picture view of school teaching operations. Where schools have electronic notice boards, they post the composite timetables there. Composite timetables usually span more than 1 page due to the amount of information they present. We have stated before that one of the mandatory requirements for subgroups is that all classes that are involved in that lesson should be scheduled at the same time. In this composite timetable, we can clearly see that all classes that participate in the HL group subgroup are scheduled simultaneously. Similarly, grades 10A, 10D, and 10E classes that participate in the mathematics subgroup are scheduled simultaneously in period 6. In this school, the mathematics subgroup caters for those students in the same class who had a choice to make between pure mathematics and mathematical literacy. Another valuable concept in school timetabling that is supported by Dream Timetables app is shown in grade 10E, period 7. There we observe that physical sciences has 2 teachers, although the subject is not a subgroup. Subgroups are not the only cases where a lesson would involve more than 1 teacher. Dream Timetables can handle a lesson where 2 or more teachers are involved in the same lesson. This timetabling concept is called co-teaching. The difference between co-teaching and subgroups is that co-teaching does not involve subject combinations or subgroups. It's always a single subject, and classes that are being co-taught are not scheduled simultaneously. Co-teaching is common in scenarios like physical training lessons, or where one of the teachers is a student teacher or an assistant teacher, or when the subject is a project which involves several teachers, or where each of the teachers tackles a portion of the subject being taught, and so forth. Another use case for co-teaching is where the school has 2 full-time teachers who teach the same subject and they alternate in teaching the class. The latter scenario comes in handy when one of the teachers is absent for any reason, as the other teacher will step in and ensure continuity of tuition for the class. This is why it becomes important to adopt a subject naming convention of appending the word group in capital letters to subgroup names, so that they are easily distinguishable from ordinary subjects and stand out in the timetable. We can see the capitalized word group in the name of the mathematics subgroup. Physical sciences, however, is an ordinary subject with 2 teachers co-teaching it, and hence a capitalized group is not appended to its name. Another powerful feature of Dream Timetables app is that you only have to define a subgroup once and use it across all school levels. Take, for instance, the home language subgroup, the HL group. It was defined once and used across the school. There was no need to create HL group for grade 8 classes, and another HL group for grade 9 classes, and another HL group for grade 10 classes, etc. A single definition sufficed for the whole school. Another demonstration of the power of the Dream Timetables app is its ability to easily handle subgroups with a large number of student classes and teachers participating in it. In grades 8 and 10 respectively, we can see that there are several classes and several teachers participating in the HL group. Despite the large number of classes and teachers participating in the language subgroup, Dream Timetables still managed to avoid split doubles for them as well, and scheduled them without any conflicts whatsoever and without excluding any of those participating classes. In the next slide, we will focus on the Composite class supervision timetable. You will recall that in a class supervision timetable, all free periods are replaced with lists of teachers who are also free during those periods, so please take note of free periods in this slide before we move on to the Composite class supervision timetable.